You are listening to Shaun of the South podcast, brought to you by Food City, fresh, local, and full of flavor. From certified Angus beef and locally grown produce to fresh sushi, wings, and Dietz and Watson deli meats, Food City has it all, ready to go. Enjoy curbside pickup, full-service floral, and pharmacies that accept thousands of insurance plans and benefit cards. Earn fuel bucks and save at any Gas and Go fuel center, because nobody does food like Food City. Find your nearest store at foodcity.com. So you want to be a writer. The email began, Shaun, I want to be a writer. I was sharing my work on social media, but people kept leaving hateful comments, and sometimes I'd be left in tears. Do you have any advice? To be honest, I feel moderately forestalled. How do I get into the writing business? Should I start my own Substack? Well, dear reader, first of all, congratulations on this exciting new path. The fact that you're coming to me for professional advice is the first step in any career's long and steady downward spiral into flames. Namely, because as a longtime professional writer, I still have to move my lips when sounding out phrases like moderately forestalled. Frankly, I don't know anything about the business of writing, and I'll let you in on a secret. Neither do the publishers, editors, marketing teams, or proofreaders. This is why the publishing industry has perhaps the highest turnover rate among employees, except for, perhaps, the mafia. Moreover, I am the wrong guy to ask for help because I'm not a businessman. I suck at business, so the business of writing, I don't understand. A good example of this was when I was in Cub Scouts. We Scouts sometimes went door to door, selling homemade cookies which our moms had baked. I don't know why we did this. The Cub Scouts are not classically known for their cookies like the Girl Scouts. When you attend a Cub Scout troop meeting and witness a dozen boys entertaining themselves with poorly executed professional wrestling chokeholds, or telling jokes whose punchlines consist solely of bodily noises powerful enough to register on the Richter scale, you do not immediately think cookies. Nevertheless, we sold cookies, and I was a bad salesman. My only sales technique was to knock on a door, then blurt out, "I'm sorry for bothering you," and then I would speed walk away. If someone had wanted to actually buy cookies from me, they would have had to chase me home and purchase them from my mother. One thing I can tell you about the business of writing, though, is that the writers who approach the business of writing as a business rarely have much fun. The reason for this is because business refers to money, and money has nothing to do with good art. If you're measuring your literary worth in terms of how much money it rakes in, you might as well give up now and move into an empty refrigerator carton in an alleyway. You can be my neighbor. Because the unofficial cardinal rule of the writing industry states that the only way to make a small fortune as a writer is to start off with a large one. In fact, I have one writer friend who did make it big. He shall remain nameless, but I met him in college, and we all knew he was going places. He wanted to write content that affected the readers on a deep level. He once said, "I want my work to cause people to experience true emotions like sorrow, anger, and even pain." Today, he writes error messages for Apple. Which brings me to my final point. Your writing is your craft, and your craft is you, and you are a human being, and human beings do not have monetary value unless they're NFL draft picks. Thus, the only way to make your work valuable is to value your work. Love your work. Share your work. Make it important. Do not run to the arms of big social media and start posting there, because you'll only become disappointed and begin evaluating yourself based on digital reactions. Listen. Your worth cannot be measured in likes and shares and tiny turd emojis. So don't fall prey to playing the algorithm game, which no one can win unless they're either Taylor Swift or a member of Congress or both. You could join Substack. It is an incredibly benevolent platform with actual readers, and you could write your heart out. But if the only subscribers you have are your mom and your cousin Ed Lee, then I suggest write to your mom and your cousin Ed Lee with all your soul. Because your words, your experiences, your love, your art, your perspective, it's all meant to share. So start putting it out there. I'm running out of time here, but one of the best writer's tips I can pass on to you is this. Refrigerator cartons last longer if you place them beneath a highway overpass. Well, thanks for listening to Sean of the South. I've been your host today, Sean Dietrich, and it has been a true privilege. To find out anything more about what I do, you can visit SeanDietrich.com, or for those who are not particularly good spellers, you can visit SeanOfTheSouth.com, and there you can find out all sorts of information that you didn't know you didn't need to know about me. And while you're there, I hope you take the time to drop me a line. Tell me what's important to you. Tell me what's going on in your life. I'd like to hear it. And in case anyone hadn't told you today already, I love you. Now go say that to somebody else. Have a great day.